Welcome in. I am the crypto bull god, and this is all in the motherfucking charts. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TradingView at Crypto Bull God. By the way, if you appreciate, I already see the likes. If you appreciate the content, make sure to give a thumbs up, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon for notifications. For those that do follow me on Twitter, my Instacart finally got here. Very late. Very, very late. But actually, they were a really nice bunch of motherfuckers. They were really nice people. So it's actually South Florida. The weather has been shitty all week. You know, last week, I'm not going to complain about it. Last week, beautiful day every single day of the week. Every single day, you can bet I was outside. This week, cloudy and rainy, really depressing. So if you have depressing things going on in your life, not a good time to be in South Florida. In fact, the company I work for works, its site is up in Minnesota. And they told me today that the temperature there, and I fact-checked this to make sure my boss wasn't ribbing me, 80 degrees and sunny. 80 degrees and sunny in Minnesota. Then I looked at my hometown up in Pennsylvania, 80 degrees and sunny. And it's 77 and cloudy, rainy, and windy in South Florida. So it's some shitty weather here. But I'm feeling great today. I feel fantastic. For those who were at the live stream yesterday, I commented I wanted to get a lot of sleep last night. I was feeling like going heavy today on the leg day. You know, going heavy on the leg day today. I never really go like super heavy on leg day for back squats. I had a minor herniated disc several years back, so I'm really hesitant to go heavy. But I successfully back squatted. Full repetition. I got that shit on camera. 385. So I am very happy with that. I did 385 for a solid one rep, and I got it decent. It made me feel confident I could get 395. 405 is going to be a tough one, but at some point I'm going to attempt it. But I'm in a good mood. I had a good workout session this morning, so why would I not be in a good mood? By the way, I just want to give you a quick reminder. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a motherfucking bull. We are in a bullish phase in the market. This is a bull, all right? This shit's hanging on my wall, all right? Just wanted to share that with you. So let's not pay attention to the day-to-day chippy-chop price action. Let's zoom out, which I'm going to do for you guys today. I actually tweeted out here on Twitter 8 notifications. It's very tempting to click on the 8 notifications. Like if you're on Instagram or you're on Twitter and you see you have 8 notifications, I just want to click and see what my notifications are. Actually, I don't care. We'll click on that later. But I had tweeted out the charts that we're going to take a look at today. They're all up on the screen. We'll have plenty of time for Q&A today. Before we get into the charts today, let's see who is joining us today. Jorge, you are a consistent person who is showing up every single day. Kayleen, hello. Hello to you too, Mr. CBG. Mr. BBC. Ooh, Mr. Mr. BBC? No, I cannot claim to be a BBC. I'm sorry. That does not fit my MO. I'm sorry. Mr. BBC. Kayleen, get that right. I'm Mr. BBC. Thank you. I appreciate the positive feedback. Yes, I have a little bit more free time to myself, and I'm making time to help you guys out. As silly as I sometimes get on here, I'm passionate about this. I want to get out here daily and just kind of show what I'm seeing in the charts. So I appreciate the feedback. Charleston, South Carolina. Super nice out today. Glad to hear it, Brian. Glad to see you back on the live stream. So, Brian, do you care to share where you were living at in the Northeast? Because I'm from Eastern Pennsylvania. As you know, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so I'm from Eastern Pennsylvania. So I'm curious where you're originally from. Hashtag Uponley. I don't get that, Rich. Sorry, Rich. I don't get that. Let's fucking go. So one of the things I'm going to do for today's live stream, and I'm glad to see that there's a little bit more of a wider audience today than there typically is that starts the live stream. Channel is small at the moment, all right? We're actually going to be taking a look at one chart in particular that's going to, two charts. Well, one chart in particular, but there's really two charts that should leave you feeling convicted that, whether we're making an all-time, whether I'm correct and we're making an all-time high in Bitcoin in 2023, or it's 2024, or shit, maybe I'm way off and it's 2025. The chart is charts are setting up in a way that they're telling us, hey, something big is on the horizon. Okay. I have shorts. I can't help that. That's just, back in the day when I was a teenager, I had long shorts. I got the shorts. What can I say? Patrick is in the motherfucking house. Welcome in. When Lambeau. All right, first thing is first. I actually wanted to take a look at the S&P. We can see the market here, price action on the ticker symbols I have. By the way, I finally have Flare token right underneath XRP here because as I had tweeted out, I was one of the individuals that chose to have his snapshot taken on the Coinbase exchange. So I was eagerly awaiting for my Flare tokens. I finally got them yesterday, so that was really good to see. Maybe I can, I'll have to think about this. Maybe I can actually create a separate video to share with you guys what I'm planning on doing. Based on the price of Flare, I am not selling my Flare. Coinbase has essentially indicated that they're going to be having buy-sell activity. You're going to be able to buy and sell your Flare tokens on Coinbase. At the current price levels, there's no way in hell I'm going to be selling my Flare. So I will be wrapping it and delegating it, more than likely using Bifrost. Had considered using Ledger, and I think it's Oracle who they connect with. But I think Bifrost, it seems like it's a lot more of an easier process to wrap and delegate. So I'll update you guys, but I want to get my monthly rewards as well as staking rewards. So I'm not planning on selling any Flare tokens for the foreseeable future. We'll have to see how the price performance does later in the year. So, but maybe I'll create a separate video for that. But anyway, I got my Flare tokens, and at the time of snapshot, I held a significant amount of XRP. So I got a lot of Flare tokens. So I'm very happy with that. But anyway, let's get into the charts. So this is the S&P. It's very important to understand how the stock market performance is because crypto right now is a risk-on asset. They do not diverge. So if the stock market in general, okay, if the stock market is going up, crypto is going to go up. If the stock market's not doing well and it's going down, crypto will be going down. So it's very important to assess the health of the overall stock market, okay? This is the S&P. As you can see here, we have downward resistance. Look at what's going on. Now, this is on a weekly time frame. Look at what's going on. We're wicking here. We're expressing weakness, okay? What we ideally want to see on Thursday or Friday, a mixture of between Thursday and Friday in the S&P. To express the greatest level of strength between Thursday and Friday, let's get the candle body to close right up in this area. I would love to see the S&P close at or above around 41,113, okay? If we can get the S&P to close right around 41,113 and above, what that's going to tell us is we got a candle body sitting right here, which we have not had, right? We've had price wicks. This should increase the likelihood that it could give us some momentum to continue pushing up. And I've spoken about this 43.25 level, all right? So let's see how the week closes out. I'm not going to touch on this chart tomorrow unless if there's a major move in the stock market. But I will be looking at the S&P on Friday. So make sure to come back on Friday, even if you don't tune in tomorrow, which I would encourage you to. Even if you don't tune in tomorrow, make sure you're here on Friday because we'll assess the overall health of the market on this weekly close. Bitcoin, okay, 12-hour, not too much to report here. I'd like to see for this 12-hour candlestick to get this body green. I'd like to see this thing close closer up to, in other words, because there are two 12-hour candlesticks in any day, this is the last 12-hour candlestick for today, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see the price close. I'd like to see the price close closer to 30,000. I'd like to see something closer to 30,000. So we'll have to see how that turns out. Nothing new to report here. What I wanted to say here, though, is this is Bitcoin on the weekly. Now, something that I wanted to emphasize here, if we really get a true, healthy trend direction here, something that is sustainable, okay, is in terms of bullish momentum, that could give us an all-time high in 2023. Keep in mind, okay, and this is another important point. If hypothetically Bitcoin tops in November, let's just say that Bitcoin tops in November of 2023 this year, right? A lot of your altcoins are not going to top until December or January of next year, okay? December 23 or January 24, right? A lot of these altcoins will lag Bitcoin because the money flows from Bitcoin and the larger altcoins into some of those smaller projects, like your artificial liquid intelligence or your Reef token or even your Harmony One, okay? So keep that in mind. But the most bullish thing that we could hope for in terms of this, we would like to see in the chart. Again, I don't like to use hope in terms of charting, okay? What I want to see some gradual stair steps up in the beginning, okay? Gradual. And then what I really want to see that parabola come in at the end, okay, to take us up to that 110, 140 level, wherever price tops at, okay? We don't want to enter a parabolic fashion within Bitcoin too soon, because a parabola by nature is an overextension of price. Prices become overheated very quickly and then they correct massively, right? So in the beginning, we want to create these stair steps. We don't want a parabola. Then we want to enter a parabola closer to when we're going to break the all-time high. That would increase the probability that we would really get that all-time high of 110 or 120 or 140 or $30,000, okay, this year. And that is still very possible for this year, but we'll have to keep an eye on price action in the coming weeks. 3-day, the one thing I wanted to reference here, I have spoken to this 3-day chart here multiple times. I have a TA video separately out on Bitcoin. The green line is the 125 simple moving average. If you don't know what I'm referring to, you're going to have to go back to a prior TA video. Real quick, I can point you to what that TA video is for everybody who is new here. I want to say that is... Oh boy, I've made so many different videos here. This is actually interesting looking at. I don't even know which video this is, to be honest with you. But actually, let me not digress. So the point is, I had, in my efforts to create a value-added chart, okay, a chart that not everyone is looking at, but that adds historical significance to the picture. If you look at the 125 simple moving average on the 3-day chart for Bitcoin, every time after we have, you see this extended period under here? Well, once we get a candle body above, we typically rise massively in price. 2019 was our wave 1 of our cycle, so this wasn't as high in price. You can see we had this V-shaped recovery. Once we got above it, we did an 8.1x. Again, what I've sketched out here for everyone who didn't watch the video, from what I can't find at the moment, I literally just took the midpoint. I took the average of the 8.1x here from 2020 and the 2.5x here from 2019 once we got candle body closes above the moving average. And I said, well, based on that, if we just took an average rate of return, that takes us to $130,000. Okay, we got the candle body closes above. Again, again, everything I present to you on this channel, this isn't my hope or my subjective view. This is objective. It is objective. I'm just sharing with you information in the charts. Now, another thing I wanted to point out to you in the chart that is very interesting, because this is a 125 simple moving average, the way the plots are calculated for each candlestick is 3 days, okay? It's based on an average of the prior 125 3-day candlesticks, okay? Look at all the price action up here, and now look at all the price action down here, okay? That's why, even though price action is curling up here, you still see this moving average curling down. It's going to take a little bit for this. We need this to flatten out and begin to curl up. We really need prices to sustain itself up in this area. The more we start to come down here, the more it influences this not flattening out as quickly, okay? So I really would prefer for there not to be a correction to a $25 or a $24 or a $23,000 Bitcoin, I'd really like to stay up in this $28,000 to $29,000 to $30,000 area and consolidate and continue pushing up. That's going to help our moving average here to flatten and curl up, which will increase the likelihood that we'll see a sustained bullish move to the upside. Now, this chart, this is a very important chart. Drop me a comment if something I'm speaking to in this chart does not make sense. If there's any chart I speak to in this entire live stream, it's very important that you understand what I'm speaking to on this chart. This is the #1 chart for the entire live stream, okay? There are two, this is really a moving average. I'm going to call them indicators. There's two indicators I'm going to speak to, okay? The first is the Williams alligator. I don't need to get technical. We need the green above the red above the blue. Let's go back in history and see what happens every time this happens. 2000 and let's actually go to, that's too, price data here is very immature. Let's go to 2015. Green, look what happened, okay? We have these negative crosses here where the green and red are below the blue. Look what happens when the green, red, and blue are in that order and they all cross upwards and they're all moving upwards, okay? Look what happens to price. We go from, can you imagine buying Bitcoin at 380? I wasn't that early. I knew of Bitcoin, but I didn't get into it, unfortunately. Else, I don't even know if I'd have this channel, to be honest. Well, maybe I'd still have the channel, but I mean, wow, if I'd gotten in that early. So 383, and we rose up to $20,000. Now, keep in mind, once we have the green above the red above the blue, green, red, blue, that is the order, okay, for the Williams alligator indicator. Typically, price likes to stay right at this green level, right? We had a touch here on red, but typically it likes to stay right on green. It rides the green line, right? Flash forward, we had our wave 1 impulse in the current cycle. Green above red, above blue. We rode massively in value. Look how overextended, and this bothers me. People on Twitter, people that you follow, people who I respect, okay? It's okay, we can have a disagreement of opinion. People are comparing the current move that's going on right now to 2019. There's a lot of people who think Bitcoin will top out $48,000, $52,000. I got news for you. While that's a possibility, it's certainly a possibility. I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times. I've been right plenty of times, just like any technician. But I have news for you. I don't believe that to be true. There isn't enough price. There isn't enough lining up with current price action to line up with 2019. I think my opinion is what's biasing people's opinions that now 2023 is like 2019 is the halving cycle. Is the halvening cycle, okay? This whole halvening cycle has just gotten ridiculous. Bitcoin's price is not going to perform the same every 4 years. If you really believe that, you believe in unicorns and fairies. Do you really think, again, a lot of people that don't understand this technology think that it is a pyramid scheme and it is ridiculous. If you want someone to believe you that Bitcoin is a pyramid scheme, tell them that, hey, Joe, I got an investment opportunity for you. Here's the thing, like every 4 years it does the same thing. Every 4 years, put your money in at year 1 and then you can expect at year 4 it's gonna fucking go up 5 times in value. That sounds like a motherfucking pyramid scheme, all right? There are no guarantees in life. And for the people out there that still believe in the unicorns and fairies, I got news for you. I think you're going to be blown away that there's this thing called technical analysis that takes place outside of a 4-year cycle that's going to prove people wrong. So green above red above blue. Price action here is very overextended above the green, right? Just take note of that. Now, let's fast forward to 2020. This was the beer virus. This is when all the zombie people were going to eat us and kill us. And we had crazy things going on, and we were all locked down, and we couldn't do anything, and it was a crazy, crazy fun time. I don't know what you were doing during that time, but crazy fun times. I rode my bike a lot. So, green, look, we got the cross. Actually, we got it back here. I should really move, whoop, whoop, right there. Green above red above blue. Now, price went from $9,000. Ladies and gentlemen, thumbs up if you appreciate the analysis. I see everybody new tuning in. Green above red above blue. Williams Alligator. Look what happened. $9,000 to $62,000. Fast forward in time, okay? We did get it here. This is what threw everyone, the majority off, including myself. I got very thrown off in this move. This was the expanded flat wave 4 correction of the Elliott wave, this thing called technical analysis. We did go 5% higher, which is typical, spot on typical for an expanded flat correction. We came down here. Now look what happened. Our red and green are all below the blue. We've gotten our cross. We've gotten our cross. Green, red, blue. Now, if I am correct, okay, in my assertion that we are going to see new all-time highs this year, okay, this line isn't going to be going much below this green line. Green line right now is at 25,900. Excuse me, 25,900, okay? So we could come down here, we could come all the way down here and ride this and then just continue up, okay? We'll have to see how this plays out. But again, the idea behind this chart, kind of putting the two charts together is, I think it's very reasonable to assume based on prior, this 94X is unreasonable, based on the prior wave movements here. And I've looked at the fib extensions with you guys. If you were here in October, specifically, October of 2022, my live stream where I said Bitcoin $100,000 plus in 2023, it lines up with this 130 target. I think $130,000 is a very reasonable target for Bitcoin. Notice what will happen, and there's one more indicator I want to look at you. I want you guys to keep note of this, okay? And I want you to come back to me and tell me if this is not true. I think by the summer of this year, we'll call it like July, maybe June, but like July, okay? There will be people calling for a super cycle. There will be people calling for $1 million Bitcoin, $250,000 Bitcoin, $300,000 Bitcoin. I understand we live in a world of probabilities. I am an actuary. I appreciate this more than anyone listening right now. I appreciate that more than 99% of the population. I am a man of numbers and probabilities, okay? But the probabilities of those figures being reached are so low, and it should give you the sense, someone asked me, I don't know if it was Brian, I don't know if it was YC, I think it might have been Brian, maybe Brian, asked me, what are your indicators to look at to know that things are oversold and you want to get out when things are topping out? One of them is market sentiment. When people are telling you that Bitcoin is going to $1 million, I know about the call that the guy made, the former CTO from Coinbase, but put that aside. When you see the news outlets and the $250,000 calls and the $300,000 calls and the $1 million calls, you better be on high alert. That's a red flag. That's not a yellow flag. It's a red flag. Be on high alert that we are close, more than likely to top it. Okay, it's not happening. All right, $130,000 is a realistic target. Let's look at one more price indicator here because we have a few other charts to get to. This is the ADX and DI. Again, we don't need to get in technical terms. Look, a kindergartner could tell you what's going on here. When the green is above the red and the green is also above zero, which is our trigger line. That's what this dotted horizontal line is here. And the red is below zero, the trigger line. Look at the massive moves up depicted by the orange line, orange arrow that we have in price. Look at this. Move up. Look at this action here. Move up. Action here. Move up. Action here. Move up. Look at this. Right now it's printing. The red is below zero. The green is above zero. There's a big gap in between. And typically the larger the gap in between, still can't move that right elbow all the way down. Typically the larger the gap in between, okay, the green and the red line, the larger the price explosion. Both of these indicators are signaling to us not what a top will be, not when a top will be, but there is a large top coming in the market. It's funny because as I'm doing this, I can actually watch myself on replay here. This is pretty interesting on the live stream. That's all I had for Bitcoin. So let me know if that is not making sense. We're about to get into some altcoin projects. I want to get to your comments actually because I have not been paying attention. Let's see what we got here. Thank you to everyone new tuning in. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You got to hit the bell icon, else you're not going to know when I go live. Let's see what we got. And Crypto NL, I think you're raising a really good point. I'm glad you made that statement. It's going to be this year, and it's coming faster than people expect. Okay, this is what I would say to that comment. If the market, whenever the market does top out, whenever there is a massive correction in the market, and I'm talking stock market and I'm talking crypto, it will happen when most people do not expect. Okay, not only are the charts telling me, okay, not only is this chart telling me, and not only is this chart telling me that we're going to see a massive rise in price, and I'm saying all-time highs this year, the other thing that gives me confidence in making that assertion or that educated hypothesis of the market is most headlines and most people are saying, oh my God, the stock market, it's going to be a fucking shitty year this year. That's what's also giving me confidence. If the majority were correct, the majority would be very well off and not working a 9 to 5, right? Right? So just keep that in mind, okay? Most people are not highly successful in investing. It's just the truth. Unfold me. Do you have a clue why the NASDAQ, S&P, and soon raise while the KX, KBY, NASDAQ Bank Index dumped so hard? In the past, they showed extremely similar behavior with each other. Listener, your thoughts. So I'm not really following your comment, but I don't want to dismiss it. Okay, I don't want to dismiss it. So here's what I would do. I think there's one of two possible scenarios here. Either you have a really good comment and I want to look at it, or not. It's one or the other, right? So this is what I would do, because I'm not following you and I don't want to take up too much chunk of time on the live stream. Send me I'm very bad with DMs. Send me a DM, introduce yourself as Unfold Me. I will look for this specifically, okay? I will look for this specifically this evening. And if I find credence to what you're saying and it adds value, I promise you, if you DM me, if I find that out, we will discuss it tomorrow on the live stream. I don't follow your comments, but I appreciate you mentioning it though. So make sure to send me a DM on Twitter. There is only one thing on my mind, ladies and gentlemen. The holy motherfucking crypto trinity. One, H-bar, and Decentraland Mana. Please compare them with each. Okay. Yeah, 3.3 to 100K is possible. Although I will tell you this, though. A lot of people talk about 100K. So it is a scenario. You guys have to be prepared for this. I give you my educated view, but there's also a strong possibility, I think, that everyone talks about 100K and plus 100K. What if Bitcoin tops out at 97K? You know? That's possible. What if it falls like 10% short of my minimum target? You know, what if Bitcoin never reaches 100K? Everybody's waiting for 100K and it tops out. And that's why it'll be important for me to create a video to share with you guys what indicators you should be looking at that the market, you got to be cautious that the market is topping out. Jorge sometimes has the best comments. Brother, I don't know who you are. I know you're incognito, but you sometimes, man, maybe you send me a DM and tell me who you are. I think you know me personally. That's what I think. I don't know what some of your comments. I don't know what's going on right now. All right, Crypto NL. What you got, man? Come on, man. You know they need exit liquidity at 150. Yeah. Merlot. Kevin's got a Merlot going on tonight. Oh, very, very nice. I was considering breaking out the wine, but I'm going to hold back. You know, I'm thinking tomorrow. I'm thinking tomorrow or Friday. Maybe I'll have a little glass of wine with you guys, you know. But I'm gonna sit tight on the wine for now. Actually, that Costco part of the Costco order, I got Costco. For you guys that do not know, Kirkland brand wine is very good and it's very cheap. Okay, do yourself a favor. Okay, next, if you're a wine connoisseur, you're entertaining guests at your home. Okay, you and your wife or you and your husband are entertaining people coming over to the house, and you serve wine. Do yourself a favor. Save yourself some money. You got the Costco Pinot Noir. and you got the fucking Jacobs or whatever Pinot Noir you want to get that's 20-some bucks or whatever, and the one from Costco is $8. Pour a glass of each for every person at your party to see if they can tell a difference or if they prefer one over the other. Costco has very good wine. Today I got I ordered what the fuck did I order? A Spanish red. I like nice dry Spanish. I typically prefer, I like drier wine. Spanish red and a Malbec. Got the Malbec. They have a very good Malbec. All right, let's get back to the charts here. Solana. Guys, we just hit on this yesterday. This was the price action yesterday. Look at the volume. Look at the volume and look at the continuation. We closed at 23. We're up at 24 right now. Okay, and we got as high as almost 25. Okay, we are looking sexy at the moment. Okay, it would not surprise me, depending how much momentum sustains itself here. Here's the thing. For Solana, if you're a holder of Solana, I think the most bullish thing that you would like to see in the charts would be to get a weekly close. This would be very bullish, right in this area. I mean, if you can get up to like 26 bucks, if you can close at 26, what are you doing? You're right up against the line of resistance, and you're right up against this descending line. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't. Gut reaction is no. I think it's going to take another week. But if we can close here, the next week you're setting up for a back test and then a continued move up. Now, what do I think will happen in Solana? I think we'll close somewhere short of this line. But even if we close here and the week opens right here, we're opening right at this descending line. You're increasing the probability for Solana of getting up in this range, which would be very bullish. Because again, you have to have patience in this market. It's all about creating stair steps. The bullish narrative, okay? It's stair steps up, okay? Or the basic, what the hell do I say? Now I'm losing my train of thought. Basic narrative to a basic building blocks of a bullish narrative. That's what I always say. Stair steps up, right? Higher highs and higher lows are the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative, all right? So I think the way the chart is setting up right now, looking at the indicators that I've looked at with you guys in the price action, I think it's very possible, I actually think it's very likely that by next week, we could be up above 26 and be entertaining, and then you're talking about hitting areas up towards 35, right? ETC, guys, just spoke to this yesterday, right? Ethereum Classic. Again, I'm not here for the fundamentals when I talk about TA, right? We can talk fundamentals. We can do a live stream about fundamentals, but the majority of all my content is on the technicals. And this thing, I pointed to yesterday, RSI is increasing, price is basically going stagnant, okay? We had this rise in price, but the point is price levels here are consistent with here for the most part. RSI is increasing in value. We have momentum, okay? I would suspect, especially because I believe there's going to be a strong move in Ethereum. Ethereum Classic, you're going to be seeing this thing up towards this $27 level very soon, okay? Keep an eye on Ethereum Classic. This thing can move quickly. Look at the price moves here. We were stagnating at $15 back in July of 22, and we went all the way up to 44. We made a 3x move in a matter of a few weeks, okay? There's no reason, there is absolutely no reason that you couldn't see something similar to this degree, okay? It's not going to look exactly the same. That's not what I'm saying. But there's no reason that you couldn't see something similar to that. That is how quickly price can move. That right now we're sitting at $22, and by the middle of May, we're up towards $50, hitting up towards 60. That is how quickly crypto moves. I've been here long enough to see it. Synapse. This has been an incredible buy. I bought right in this yellow region at 72 cents. Where are we at right now? We are at 81 cents, okay? I will consider buying more if we get into this zone again, because this just seems like too much of a good buy opportunity. I don't care about whatever stories are going on about whatever. We broke this downward resistance, and ever since then, we've been in a falling wedge. This is a 2-day view, Synapse. We've been on a falling wedge, and we've back tested, at least we're close to actually back testing, and that's where we could actually wick down here closer to maybe 60 cents. But In my opinion, based on this chart setup, if you can buy Synapse anywhere in the 70 cents region, I think you are going to be, never financial advice, I think you're going to be very happy even a month from now, okay? If this thing gets anywhere close to 73 cents, I'm going to probably reposition. More than likely, I will be repositioning my short-term swing portfolio to capture this. The other thing I've noticed with Synapse is it has a lot of volatility. You get very large swings up and swings down. And if you know how to capture that volatility, it can benefit your portfolio, your swing trade portfolio. Another chart I wanted to take a look at here, bullish divergence on the 6-hour for artificial liquid intelligence. Look at what's going on here. So there's a story to be created here. First off, a lot of volume coming in here, okay? A lot of volume. And if we get more granular, you can see large sell-off, large buy, okay? A lot of distortion here. Bottom line is, the other story that's being created in ALI here on the 6-hour, there is seller exhaustion. All these wicks are expressing seller exhaustion. Buyers are buying up this price action. And the other thing I'd like to point to is the bullish divergence. I feel confident this thing is going to have a massive move to the upside. We're in a falling wedge. Just got to stay patient. I feel good. I feel good on this one. Now, for all the Harmonauts here, let's take a closer look at Harmony One with some of the price action going on. I'm starting to feel very good, and also coupling with the idea that I expect a large rise in price for Ethereum. I think all those layer ones, even the layer twos, they're going to perform very well. Let's take a look at the weekly on Harmony One USD first. First off, there is a descending area of resistance illustrated by the descending blue line here. You can see this, right? Descending blue line. So we need to punch up above here. The first key area that I want Harmony One to sustain price action at is above 3.1, essentially 3 cents. Okay, let's just call it 3 cents. And you can see we wicked up here. We could not sustain price action above 3 cents. I want to get back up above 3 cents and stay within this area. So it would look something in general like this. Let's get up in this area, sustain ourselves, and then start moving up in some of these big areas. And really this area would be monumental. Once we can start to get up towards this 10 cent to 18 cent area, when we start gravitating in here, it is time to start getting very bullish on Harmony One, okay? So this is the weekly on the USD chart for Harmony One. Oh, man. RSI is at 47. Very healthy level. Very healthy level. It's trending up. Let's look at this MACD. This is what I'm grinning at. Histogram is sort of, it's petering off a little bit. We are so close to this trigger line on the weekly. Getting a MACD, now we are positive. The blue is above the orange on the MACD for Harmony One. When we start pushing above 0, mark my words and come back to me and tell me this doesn't happen. On the weekly for Harmony One, when we start pushing this blue line up above 0 on the weekly, we're going to start seeing some large movements up. Keep an eye on Harmony One. The one BTC relativity chart. Let's take a look at what's going on here. You can see last time we had a break of this downward resistance. And notice, I want to explain this movement here. Once we broke it, massive move up. You can see downward resistance. Will we get another move down? Now, I think that's very possible. Now, why would that happen? Why would the one BTC relativity chart maybe take a strong dip before a rip? What is that telling us? Well, if you understand my expectations for the market, I expect Bitcoin, the leader, the driver of value, to make a large move up in price movement. We start moving up to 35, to 42, to 48, to 52, right? As Bitcoin is making stronger impulses up, that rate of appreciation in Bitcoin is going to outpace Harmony One. This is just a relativity chart. It's not the USD chart. So because the rate of relativity between One and Bitcoin is dropping, Bitcoin is rising at a higher rate than One, we're going to see a dip off. But then as the money starts to bleed in alts, that's when we see our rip. Now, where we go, whether we start to create new all-time highs, whether we double top, whether we fall short, we're going to have to assess at that point. But it would make sense that we could potentially see another dip before a rip, similar to here. Very, very possible. Now, let's look at the chart, a unique chart that I haven't seen anyone else chart this one. This is a relationship between 1 USD and H-bar USD. And as I always say, I love both projects. Look behind me. I coined the holy crypto trinity. Clearly, fundamentally, I love both projects. But what this chart is telling me is that the rate of appreciation in USD value of 1 is outpacing H-bar, okay? And we've seen consolidation. What's the blue line, CBG? Like, what's going on with this blue line? The blue line is the 21 exponential moving average. And typically, when we've been above here, you can see we rise in price. When we fall below, well, we stagnate. Here, we had a little bit of a fake out. We're back above it. The other thing I'd like to point out in this chart is that we have downward resistance right now that is being challenged. Okay, we're starting to break out. This is on the weekly. The other thing I like to see on this chart is the RSI. I have a 50 in particular. There's a zone between 44 and 50, and we've been like gravitating in this range. We're peaking our head above 50. I suspect, and we're going to come back to this chart maybe a month from now, 2 months from now, I suspect we're going to see a strong impulse up. Okay, strong impulse. So where could the 1H bar chart get to? And I'll explain what this means in layman's terms for USD value. I would ideally, kind of looking at the chart, I mean, I would definitively like to get in this zone for sure, between the 0.4 and 0.5. What that translates to is the 1 USD value is 40 to 50% of the value of H bar. So if H bar was 10 cents, Harmony 1 would be 4 to 5 cents, okay? But more so what I really want to do, I really want to see Harmony 1 get back up into this area, 60 to 75. So what that would say is if H bar was at 20 cents and we were in the 60 to 75% area, Harmony 1 would be, somewhere between 12 and 15 cents, which is very reasonable to assume. So this chart is setting up bullish for me. I love this chart setup. This is just saying that Harmony 1 still will likely continue some upside and outpace H-bar's appreciation in price. Doesn't say H-bar is going to perform poorly. That's not what I'm saying. It's just Harmony 1 will outpace it. So we'll have to come back and see if that's the case. So let's get into your TA questions. Let's see what we got here. Man, it just hit me. I did not use the bathroom before this live stream. Oh, sorry. Nose is still a little stuffy, and the bladder is full. Wow. What TA questions does everyone have for me? This is the segment where you can help to educate me on other projects. I can start to chart other things out that I'm not familiar with, or maybe I am familiar with. What you got, guys? What you got? Let's get out of some of these charts. Oh, man. Close out of some of this stuff here. What you guys going on for? What do you guys have going on for dinner today? I'm honestly having a hodgepodge of stuff. I had this Costco order, and I looked at my freezer, and I have some frozen chicken in there and like a frozen vegetable burger in there, and I'm just throwing all that shit in the air fryer, and I'm gonna make that and make some asparagus. It's just gonna be getting rid of shit in my freezer. That's basically what it is. Nothing exciting. By the way, I do appreciate the support. I know this is a bit of a change to the channel that I'm going live every day, and it really does. I mean, all kidding aside, it does mean a lot that everyone tunes in and kind of checks out what I have to say in the charts. And part of the value in this, in me creating, I wanted to touch on this. Part of the value in me creating value for you is the engagement, right? So the degree that you guys show up, you have questions, you're also entertaining, because I don't want to. Again, I'm a numbers person. I deal with statistics, but I deal with this shit all day, numbers and statistics. I gotta have a release and be able to joke around and kid, because I cannot be too serious for too long. I'm just not like that. Especially the older I've gotten, I'm like, yeah, I'm just glad I don't go into a cubicle every day. That would fucking drive me nuts. There was something I wanted to show you while I'm waiting to see if there's any TA questions. I saw this at the last minute. Michael Arrington posted this on Twitter, or tweeted this, and I saw this last minute before I went live. A Florida woman has been accused of driving a motorized shopping cart She sounds like my hero. I need to get her number and I need to hit her up. A Florida woman has been accused of driving a motorized shopping cart through a Target while drinking wine from the bottle and eating sushi and cinnamon rolls. Cripes. Sounds like my type of girl. I need to get in touch with her. She'll keep shit real. Man, I thought my life was crazy the past year. That lady probably, man, she would give me a run for my money. Moon River, we got a chart, ladies and gentlemen. We have a chart. All right, thank you to Kevin, a consistent supporter of the channel, as many of you are, which I appreciate. Patrick, Patrick, if you're still there, you don't have any charts for me, Patrick? Come on now, brother. You don't have any charts you want me to check out for you? Oh, Vertcoin. Remember we looked at Vertcoin? What do we got here? Moon River. I love how, you know what's funny? So I got this timer right here, and I want to try to keep this to like 30, 35 minutes. We're already at 43. Clearly, I'm not obeying the timer. I'm trying to keep myself on track here so these live streams don't get too long, and clearly I'm not doing an effective job there with my time management. Let's see what we got. This is Moon River on KuCoin. If there's another exchange you would recommend. Oh, wow. I'm familiar with the name. I know I've heard of it. I'm not familiar with the project. I'm not familiar with it at all from that perspective. I've heard of it. I just don't really know anything about it. So the first thing is, the first thing that sticks out to me about this chart, we were in a clear, heavy downturn, right? This was the ICO, more than likely, I'm assuming. We went from wherever, $4 all the way up to Jesus Christ. I know I've heard of this one. There were bad things associated with this one, I think. All the way up to $500, all right? So we did a 100x, right? Well, clearly things were overbought, okay? So we were in a heavy downturn here. So the first thing that I like to see in price, we've broken the downtrend, right? There's no reason we couldn't have continued going lower. Look, price, there's no reason it had to do what it did, okay? Price could have continued doing this. We could have gone all the way down here below the ICO at like $1.80. Okay, there's no reason it needed to stop. But look what happened. Look what happened with the price. It stopped and it's been leveling out. Very, very healthy to see. So we have some form of consolidation going on. The buyers have stepped in. There's seller exhaustion. The price doesn't really want to go down any lower. Now, I do have another area of descending resistance, I would say right there, okay? Right there, all right? We're going to change the color so that you can keep track of this. So that's one area that I would keep an eye on. But actually, this one's easy to chart for me. I like that on a weekly, it's pretty clean here, at least for the moment. Where was I looking? Oh, right here. So there is an area of resistance right about at, don't want to get too cute. Again, I don't get too cute on this channel. $10, we're going to call it $10.50. Okay, $10.50 is an area of resistance. It looks like there's another area of resistance on Moon River on KuCoin at $12. Now there's a zone between $10.50 and $12. What's interesting is if you look, Kevin, check this out. If you look at where we might rise in price at this 10 to 12, we're also facing descending resistance, right? The descending resistance here. So there's a lot of price confluence at the moment between $10.50 and $12. Now, areas of support, right? We want to make sure that price maintains itself. Well, obviously the all-time low, which I don't believe would be broken unless if something fundamentally breaks down in this chart outside the rest of the crypto markets, because in my opinion, crypto has bottomed. You can see there was a strong rejection to the downside here. Sellers, buyers came in. I would draw the area right around there, actually. So for me personally, for candle body closes, I want to see the price maintain itself around $7 to $7.50. Okay, we can wick below it, but $7 to $7.50. We're going to face some pressure around $10.50 to $12. Now, we're sitting at $8.60, so that represents a 20 to 40% move to the upside, okay? Once we break descending resistance, where would I anticipate there'll be additional resistance? Well, that's a clear area right up here where this wick is at. I'll actually draw it closer to here. There's more confluence there. Right around $20, okay, 21 bucks. Another area of clear resistance on Moon River would be right around $18, okay? And the last area that I would draw has to do with this wick right there. I'll say 13 bucks, right? So these are your areas of resistance, Kevin. You want to watch. This is going to be a major area right in here, okay? A major area right in here. $10 to, we're going to call it 10 to 12 bucks, right? Then we got this 13, the 18, and the 20. Now, keep in mind, when we do break descending resistance, you should know this by now. Kevin, you've been here like every day, which I appreciate. I appreciate the support very much. When we break this descending resistance, what likes to often happen? We like to backtest. So keep in mind that even if we get an exuberant run up to 13, we may very likely come down to closer to 10 bucks and have a 30% correction or more before we continue up. So keep an eye on that. Thank you for the question. I can do one more chart if there's any more. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got some food comments in here, I think. How do you take... So besides TA, how do you take externals into your strategy? We all know market is run by... It's manipulated on many levels. How do you anticipate on that? So Crypto NL. What's up, Evan? What's up, my brother? See, this is the thing. And this is hard to sometimes convey to people, but this is honestly how I feel. When I started putting my first dollar into the stock market individually and I was investing, I knew nothing about technical analysis. Nothing. Please hear what I'm about to say, okay? Because maybe this will inspire you to look at things differently, or maybe not, but maybe it will. I invested based on fundamentals, all on fundamentals, and I knew nothing about technical analysis. The pivotal point for me when I decided that I was not doing something right was when Hillary Clinton came out and tweeted something about pharmaceutical companies. And at the time, I had a decent amount of my position, a decent amount of my portfolio in some pharmaceuticals that I had researched, and I was pretty up to date in terms of what pharmaceutical trials look like, and I knew the risks. I mean, pharmaceuticals are very risky to invest in, but it was money that if I lost it at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. So I had a lot of money in pharmaceuticals, and she tweets something, and my pharmaceutical stocks go down 20, 30%. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So that was what spurred me to look into something different. I took some professional trading classes, and what came out of that? The more that years have passed, the more, and especially, it just fits so well. I am a data scientist. I'm an actuary, okay? At work, at my 9 to 5, I evaluate data. I look at the statistics. You know, right now I'm working on medical underwriting information right now for life insurance. I'm looking at information. I'm trying to find trends. I'm trying to find ways we can help to automate the process. So I'm looking at a lot of data, and it's just data driven, right? When we go to the S&P, okay, if we look at a monthly chart on the S&P, every single thing that has occurred in life, okay, the Great Depression, which was back here in 2029, okay, everything is baked into the chart. All the human emotion, all the exuberance, all the fear mongering, all of the wars, all of everything is baked into here. Okay, so this does the talking for me. There is nothing else that influences me. If the things you're speaking to, Crypto NL, influenced me, then quite honestly, when FTX broke, okay, and it went insolvent, I don't know if I had based most of my investment thesis on that going on and then the Luna and all that stuff, and I got caught up in all those emotions, if I wouldn't have taken a bunch of my money off the table and kind of waited for things to ride out. I did not, thankfully. Okay? I base it on the charts. Okay, there is nothing else that influences my ultimate view on things outside of the charts. Okay, yes, there can be black swan events. Okay, COVID was beer virus. Don't want to get demonetized here. I don't even know if that's still taking place. The beer virus was a black swan event, but everything's in the charts. That's my view. I hope you find that helpful. The data speaks for itself. I don't allow the other things to influence me. Until something changes in the charts, I don't worry about it. News narratives will catch up to charts. Okay, there'll always be a news narrative. Okay, Ripple. My view is Ripple's going to win their case. Okay, and I'm sure the timing of that. Look, I'd be willing to bet actually. Okay, the timing of the news release that Ripple is winning the SEC case, or maybe there's a small settlement, or it's going to be a favorable outcome. Okay. Whenever that is, will be at like the perfect time, right? And it's going to align with the charts, and it's going to result in XRP running up to $2 or $3. Okay, it's just it just sort of lines up with one another, but it's all in the charts, right? I will chart one more token. I'm getting a question from Unfold Me. Don't forget to DM me because I was taking your question very serious. I just didn't follow you. Got a question on ICP. This is one of those disaster projects that when it was long, I mean, look at this thing. It was all the way up at like $2,500. we took a look at this before, but we haven't looked at it in a long time. I don't know what this is. But I don't want to write it off. The one thing I will say that I like to see, now this is on a weekly. Check this out. You're welcome, Crypto NL. There's a lag in responses here. You're welcome. Okay, this is actually really interesting, believe it or not. Look at the RSI. Now, this is really interesting to me. The price has absolutely tanked, but the relative strength index has been nothing but increasing. Done nothing but increasing. Yeah, interesting. The RSI just continues to increase as price is going down. Now, that leads me to conclude there could be some sort of massive rise to the upside, although we already did have a rise from $3 up to $8. But something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at areas of support and resistance on this. I'll stay on the 3-day. Let's talk about downward resistance, right? So you have this line here. Okay, so we've broken out of downward resistance, right? We've cleared that. Very healthy to see. Let me take that off. Very healthy to see. Sorry for the sniffles. Areas of support. Well, first off, we don't want to take out the all-time low, obviously, which I would doubt we will do unless if something completely falls apart at $3.36 roughly. But what other area here? All right, this is a clear area around $4.50. And we have another area right here at $4.80. So this $4 range, I don't want to see this $4.50 to $4.80 taken out in a candid body close, right? This is on the 3-day, right? Now, resistance. Where are we going to run into resistance on ICP? I know it wicked. I guess I'll draw it there because it did wick there, but it's all ranges at the end of the day. Again, we don't like to get too cute with the charts. It's ranges. There's another area right there. So these are the areas of resistance that we can expect to run into problems for ICP. $6.30, we'll call it. $8.30. So $6.30, $8.30, and $9.40. All right. Come back to the channel and we can revisit the chart once we clear 940. Because once we start clearing 940, I will say this though. If you're patient, you have a little bit in this, there is the opportunity to see a large gap up, right? Because there's not a lot of price confluence in this area. I mean, you have the possibility when you clear $9 to run all the way up to 15 and then all the way up to 23. So come back to me when we clear 940, but for now, 630, 830, and 940 are areas of resistance. Thank you for the question, Unfold Me. All right, guys, this live stream has gone way over. I need to make dinner for myself. So I hope you appreciated the content. If you did, share it with at least one person. I'll be back here tomorrow. I'll be back here Friday. Hit the thumbs up button. drop me a comment, show support for the channel. Click the bell icon to know when I go live. And 6 minutes left until unlock. All right, Evan, I'll check into that afterwards. Peace out, brothers and sisters. All right, take care of yourself. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you Friday. Until next time, spread awareness and carry the education forward. Take care, guys. Good to see you. Well, in the virtual sense. Good to read your words.